You are welcome to Employment Law class. Today we look at Section 5 of Unit 5, Duties of the Principal to his Agent, Session Objectives. By the end of this session, you should be able to identify the duties of the principal and lastly, explain the agent-principal problem. Duties of the principal. We have performance, compensation, reimbursement, and indemnification. Performance here, you have to know that normally it is the duty of the agent to perform the assigned task. However, the principal may also perform the duty whenever he has the chance to do so. By compensation, here the terms of the contract will indicate the amount that the agent will be entitled to after performing his or her duty. So the compensation is what the agent is entitled to for performing on behalf of the principal. So after he has performed his duty, the principal has a duty to compensate the agent for the work done. And normally it will be based on the terms and condition between the principal and the agent. Reimbursements. Agent has a duty to reimburse the principal. Here what you mean is that the agent in the course of performing his or her duty might have incurred certain expenses on behalf of the principal, and therefore the principal has to pay all those money to the agent if the agent has used his or her pocket money. For instance, someone who has been appointed as agent to take care of a household or a building. Now, if the owner or the principal is not around, the agent, when there is a need to make repairs on the building, the agent may use his or her personal money to do that. In that case, when the principal comes around, he is entitled to those money he has spent. It means that the principal must pay for all the expenses made by the principal to ensure that the building is in a good state. Now, on the issue of indemnification, the principal must indemnify the agent. Here we mean that the principal must indemnify the agent for all losses suffered by him in the course of his business, which it was not the fault of the agent. Here it simply means that, let's say A has appointed B to act as his agent. Now, in the course of A performing his assigned duty, he suffers losses without any fault of, B in the course of performing his business suffer losses without his fault. The principal, who is A, must pay for those losses that B has incurred. That's A must indemnify B. Liabilities of principal to agent. A principal is liable jointly and severally with the agent for any fraud committed by the agent in the course of his employment or in the course of his agency relationship, provided that the act was within the scope of his authorized business or his authority. What means that if the agent is doing his assigned work and he commits fraud, both the agent and the principal will be liable. Jointly and several liable simply means that you will sue them together. So when you get judgment, You look at the one with the biggest pocket, the one who has more money, and probably it will be the principal. Then you take the money from the principal if the agent cannot pay. That is what we mean by jointly and severally. Here, if you are not, the agent is not acting within his scope of authority, the principal cannot be liable. It is only the agent who will be liable. That's when the agent is on frolic of his own. Now, the principle of principal agency problem. Agent does not always act in the best interest of his principal, or the agent does not always act with the principal best interest at heart. What we mean is that it is not always the case that the agent will take the interest of the principal as key. Sometimes they have their own agenda. The agent representing the principal in business handles. An agent representing the principal in a business negotiation handles the work but won't see most of the profit. So, for instance, you have been appointed as agent, you negotiate the contract, but you don't normally see the profit. It creates an impression. He may not be able to. He may not be as dedicated as he would be if working in his own interest. So because the profit is not coming to his pocket, he only gets a small portion of the profit. So most of the times, he doesn't dedicate or he doesn't give out his best. A business manager may prioritize boosting his salary and benefits over making money for the owner. An agent acting under a power of attorney have sold the principal property and lined their own pocket. So you see, sometimes the agent may be dealing for you, but they may also have their own agenda. Now, typically, you can really see this when it comes to the issues of business. Management wants more salaries, more pay, promotion. The shareholders also want dividends. So they will kind of they will kind of interest computing. Either they should put the interest of the shareholder at hand, or they should proceed their own agenda by ensuring that they will get promotion. To prevent this, principal can offer the agent better incentive, monitor him closely, and be very careful to give the agent no more than the necessary to get the job done. So what you are saying that is, if you want to promote or prevent agency relationship, look, give them incentives. You see, when people get incentive for whatever they are doing, they do it and do it well. It is only when you fail to give them incentive, even some of the principal, they go ahead to even deny their agent their compensation, not even to talk about incentives. So in this case, to prevent that competing interest, give the agent incentives, something small for the boys. Monitor him closely and be very careful there. Sometimes, if you give people too much powers, they tend to abuse them. So give them the powers that they need. Give them the authority that will commensurate the work given. Don't give them more than necessary, as they will end up doing things that you have not authorized them to do. They will abuse the authority. In this session, we have attempted to explain the principal agency problem and duties of the principal to their agents. Thank you very much and have a nice day.